Hello friends, welcome to Uacademy. Today I have brought you a video on 5-year plan, as so many of our followers were asking that I only make videos in Hindi language. So I am going to make this video in English medium also, so hope you will like it. And first of all, I would like to request you, if you like my videos, please hit the subscribe button below, and also you can like and share as much as possible for you. And also you can join my Facebook page, which is already given in the description box, which is www.facebook.com/uacademy22. So today we will again discuss about 5-year plan, and who have already seen my first video of 5-year plan, I will request them to watch this video also, because in this video there will be some more key points which were not covered in that video. So let's start our video on 5-year plan. So as the first question always arises here, what do you mean by 5-year plan and why it was adopted in our economy? So as we all know that in 1947 we got freedom. Then after the freedom, the Indian economy has been premised on the concept of planning, because before the independence, our economy were managed and governed by the British government, but when they left our country, there was a huge demand to manage our economy as well as to plan for the future. So after the independence, this concept was adopted. So we will going to discuss this plan on here. Okay, so this has been carried through the 5-year plan. That so we make a 5-year planning of our economy, and we plan on which sector or which problem our economy has to be maintained. So in this way the 5-year plan was adopted, and it was well developed and executed, and after that it was monitored by the planning commission. This should be note down that the planning commission was made basically to monitor all the 5-year plans which were developed, which were executed, and they were well monitored by the planning commission. And if we talk about the planning commission, then its chairman is our prime minister. Whoever will sit on the seat of the prime minister of our country, he or she will become the ex officio chairman of planning commission, and it has a deputy chairman which is basically nominated. Okay, and that deputy chairman holds all the powers and the rank as a cabinet minister. Okay, so we should know that. And in most of the competitive exam, it mostly asked that who is the last deputy chairman of the commission, and he was Montek Singh Ahluwalia. So Montek Singh Ahluwalia is the last deputy chairman of the commission, okay, and he resigned in 2014 and the date was 26th of May. So 26th of May 2014, Mr. Montek Singh Ahluwalia resigned as the deputy chairman of the planning commission, okay. So now after his resignation, there was some discussion that now how this will be managed. So there was some names of senior BJP leaders and former union ministers like Yashwant Sinha and Arun Sauri, who were doing the rounds for the important positions. So between them there were much discussion that who will possess this position or post. So there was speculation that the new BJP-led government would disband or scale down the planning commission after the Prime Minister Narendra Modi had made a scathing attack on Prime Alias. And when Mr. Narendra Modi became the Prime Minister, he changed the planning commission and make it as Niti Aayog, okay, and it was made in 1st January 2015, okay. And if we talk about the planning commission, then the 11th plan completed its term in March 2012 and the 12th plan is currently underway, and it is under the observation of Niti Aayog, okay. Now the first plan, which was adopted in 1951 to 1956, and from 1 April 1951 to 31 of March, okay, 1956. So first of all, what was the aim of our first plan, first 5-year plan? Then it was the agriculture and the irrigation. So in the first 5-year plan, we basically focused on the agriculture, okay, and this plan was based on the Harold Domer model. This name you should learn because most of the exams always consider one question that on which model this or that 5-year plan was based, or who proposed the model. Then you have to answer them, or for that you have to learn them. So our first 5-year plan was based on the Harold Domer model, and this was the only plan in which the prices of the goods fell. So it is considered as the most successful 5-year plan for the consumers, okay. Now comes the second 5-year plan. It was from 1956 to 1961, and it was based on the PC Mahan-Lewis, and PC Mahan-Lewis is the important name because it comes under some more things such that national income or many more. So you have to note down that PC Mahan-Lewis model was adopted in the second 5-year plan, which led from 1956 to 1961, and the priority was given to the basic and heavy industries. This was the important because after the first year plan there was a huge need to develop the basic and heavy industries in our country. So So Mr. P.C. Mahan Lodis proposed this plan and it was adopted. And in the second 5-year plan, there were some plans which were established. So we have to note down. First is Bhilai, second is Raurkela and Durgapur. These 3 steel plants were established, as well as the ONGC for oil, and then Ranchi Heavy Engineering Corporation. This is also, and it is, and if you talk about the Ranchi, then it is in the Jharkhand, okay? But that time it was the part of Bihar, okay? And the Naveli Lignite Corporation, Naveli Lignite, it is in Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. So now, as Andhra Pradesh is divided in Telangana and Simant, so it comes between both of them, and there is a district named Guntur. It is near it, so we have to notice it, okay? And in this 5-year plan, some multi-purpose projects were also started, that were Nagarjuna Sagar, Bhakra Nagal, Hirakund, okay? So we have to note down that, okay? For one correction, Naveli is not between Simandra and Telangana, it is Nagarjuna Sagar, okay? So you have to know that, and Naveli is basically in Tamil Nadu. Next is deficit financing started in this plan. Deficit is basically the loss, and the loss was started in the second 5-year plan, and since then it is happening in all 5-year plans, okay? So the amount of deficit was less, but it happened in second 5-year plan. And socialist pattern of the society is accepted as a whole, okay? So there will be a socialist pattern of the society, okay, in the second 5-year plan. Now comes third 5-year plan. It was 1961 to 1966, and it was the most failure 5-year plan till date in India after the independence. So this plan was a failure, and there were some reasons why. Because there was a lack of food, okay? This was the most negative point, as well as there was Indo-China and Indo-Pakistan war, okay, and as well as the devaluation of the rupees, because in 1965 a new coin named Naya Paisa was launched, and in 1966 it was known as the Paisa only, okay? So, and if a question asked that after the independence, when was the first devaluation of money was took place, then first it was done in 1949, and after that it was done in 1966. That was the third 5-year plan. But and in third 5-year plan, there was a Bokaro steel plant which was started in 1964, and the main negative point for this failure was the severe drought, that means sukha, in 100 years occurred in the time period of 1965 to 1966, and when the food was much less in our country, then there was a need of revolution which took place after this plan, okay? Now comes the time period of 1966 to 1969. These 3 years there was no 5-year plan were adopted, only there were 3 annual plans which were accepted in that period. So 3 annual plans were accepted in the time period of 1966 to 1969, and this time period was known as the plan holiday. Okay? Now in this time period, on 1966, the Green Revolution took place. Okay, Swaminathan was the person who was responsible for this Green Revolution, and his main focus on the agriculture, and it was on Kharif. Okay, and also there was the nationalization of the 14 banks, which took place in 1969 in the month of July. So in the 3 annual plans, these 2 main incidents happened, so we have to note that. Okay, after that, again 5-year plan started, and this was our 4th 5-year plan, which was from 1969 to 1974. Okay, and in this 5-year plan, the main aim was to remove the poverty. So poverty removal and growth with the stability, with distributive justice and self-reliance. Okay, so this was the aim, we have to remember it. After that, in 1969 to 74, there was Mr. Godgill, who gave a formula for this 5-year plan, and in this it was allowed since 4th plan for the central assistance for state plans. So from 4th 5-year plan till now, the central government will help the state plan to make the maintenance well balanced. Okay, in this formula it was modified by NDC. Okay, NDC in 1991. Okay, in December 1991, this Godgill formula was little bit modified, and later it was known as the Godgill-Mukherjee formula, because on that time the chairman of planning commission was Mr. Pranab Mukherjee, and he made some changes in this formula. So now this formula is known as the Godgill-Mukherjee formula since 8th plan till now. Okay, if we talk about the Godgill formula, then it started from 4th plan. Okay, now in 4th 5-year plan, there was a slogan which was given by the Congress, that was Garibi Hatao. In 1971 election, Indira Gandhi was there. Okay, and the most important, the privy purses were abolished in 4th plan. Privy purses is basically known as the Zamindari entry pratha, which was abolished, and also there was a Nawab who were abolished in 4th year plan. Okay, now comes 5th year plan from 1974 to 1979, and the aim of this plan was to remove poverty and become distinct objective for the first time. So the main aim was the poverty removal. Okay, and this model was DP Dhar model, which was adopted in this 5-year plan. Okay, and there was a program which launched in 5th year plan, that was known as the minimum needs program. I will make a separate video on this topic, minimum needs program. Okay, because it is very lengthy topic. Okay, Next is the Command Area Development Program was started in 1974 to 75 to utilize water in major and medium irrigation projects in an optimum manner. So in the fifth year plan, the water management and the irrigation projects were focused by this development program. Okay, and there was a oil crisis took place in 1973 in the month of September. Okay, so we have to note down this, that in which 5-year plan the oil crisis took place, and the answer is fifth 5-year plan, and the year is 1973 in the month of September. Okay, after that the 20-point program, which was carried out since the first year plan, that was replaced with the fifth plan. Okay, and okay, now sixth plan 1978 to 1983, and it was proposed by the Janata Party, but when the Janata Party was defeated in the election, it was removed by the Congress, and it only completed for 2 years. Okay, so and in this time period, rolling plan concept was adopted by the Janata Party. And if we talk about the rolling plan, then rolling plan is based on the per year monitoring of the plan, how much it has done in the past year, and what modification or what improvement it needs, but discussed in every year. Okay, and there was a professor named D.T. Lakadwala, who was the deputy chairman of planning commission, in which the rolling plan was took place. Okay, you have to note down this name. The idea of rolling plan was taken from Japan. This you should also know, that from which country this rolling plan was adopted. Then the answer is Japan. And this rolling plan concept was given by Mr. Gurnar Mirdal. You have to note down this name because it is important. Next is the Hindu rate growth was increased in this 5-year plan, and growth was 3% in the past, but in this 5-year plan it was 3.5%. Okay, next is sixth 5-year plan, that is from 1980 to 1985. The main aim again was the poverty eradication. Okay, now in this time period there were some programs which were launched for the eradication of poverty, and the main were IRDP, TRISEM and NREP. So you should note down these three names, that in which 5-year plan they were launched, and the answer is sixth 5-year plan from 1980 to 1985, IRDP, TRISEM and NREP. Okay, later the Visakhapatnam steel plant, which is in Andhra Pradesh, and Salem, which is in Tamil Nadu, and the Bhadravati steel plants were built in sixth 5-year plan. So we should note down this also. Okay, now seventh plan from 1985 to 1990. This was also a main developed program in which the food work productivity uh, formula was given, and that was need, and that was named that Jawahar Rozgar Yojana in, and it was launched in April 1989. So we should note down this year also, that in 1989 in the month of April, Jawahar Rozgar Yojana was launched, and the main motto was food work productivity, काम के बदले अनाज. Okay. Now there was a wage good strategy which was adopted in 7th plan, and this was based on the Vakil and Brahmanandam wages good strategy. Okay, so we should note down this name also. Now comes 8th 5-year plan. In 8th 5-year plan, the indicative planning was based on the John Muller model. John Muller model was adopted in 8th 5-year plan, and this was the most important 5-year plan, because in this 5-year plan the highest growth rate was achieved, and that was 6.8%. Okay, so highest growth rate was achieved, and that was 6.8%. Okay, and in this the indicative planning was implemented. Indicative planning was implemented first in France. Now the indicative planning was also adopted in this 5-year plan, as I have already discussed, that it was based on the John Muller. But if the question asked that in which country the indicative planning was implemented first, then the answer is France, and it was in 1947 to 1950. Okay, next is 9th 5-year plan. It was the human resource development growth with social justice and equality, agricultural, rural development, and important role to private sector. In this plan, not much important facts, so we can leave this, but only we have to remember the aim of this 5-year plan, and the time period was 1997 to 2002. Okay, after that comes 10th 5-year plan. In 10th 5-year plan, the growth rate was targeted 8.7%, but it achieved only 7.8%. Okay, and in all the planning era it was the highest, that because in this 5-year plan there were 5 crore employments and the largest allocation to energy. Okay, so we should know that. Okay, then the next is our 11th plan, and the theme was faster and more inclusive growth. Okay, and the total proposed outlay was 36,44,718 crores, and it was just double as before. Okay, and the union government took 21,56,571 crores, that is 59.2% of this. Okay, and the states contain 14,88,147 crores, it is 40%, 40.8% approximate. Okay, of this amount. So we should know that. Now the approach paper of 11th plan was approved by the Planning Commission in 2006 in the month of October, and 18th of October 2006. This date you should note down, because most of the papers it has come that the approach paper of 11th plan was approved on which date or which year, then you should note that. Okay. And the 52nd National Development Council, the NDC, National Development Council, approved the draft on 9 December 2006. You should also know that NDC passed this plan on 9th December 2006, and it was the 52nd NDC Council. Okay. Now the 54th National Development Council approved in its meeting on now this after 1 year and 10 days the 54th NDC come and it approved its meeting. Okay. Now the 55th NDC Council meet held on 24th of July 2010. These dates you should note down. Okay. Next is central gross budgetary support was 14,21,711 crores, and this is the center support to plan. Okay. Now in the mid-term review of 11th plan is done by the Planning Commission on 23rd of March 2010. On 23rd of March 2010, the review of 11th plan was done by the Planning Commission, and on the 11th plan growth target is reduced from 9% to 8.1%. Okay, in the past it was aimed 9%, but when the Planning Commission reviewed it, it reduces it to 8.1%. Okay, and after that it projects the growth rate for 20th of September 2010, 20th of October 2011, and 20th of November 2012 as 7.2%, 8.5%, and 9% respectively. So in the combination it comes to 8.1%. Okay, and also to increase the outlay on the infrastructure sector from the present of 500 billion in 11th plan to $1 trillion in 12th plan. So it proposes that the outlay on the infrastructure sector should be doubled in the next plan, so that at present the 12th Planning Commission, which was ruling, in that the outlay was $1 trillion. Okay. Now 12th plan, it was from 2012 to 2017. This plan focuses on the instilling inclusive growth. Okay, inclusive growth was the main target. The plan is concentrated to increase the development of India's agriculture, education, health, and social welfare through the government spending. So in this plan the government focuses on the development of agriculture, okay, education, health, social welfare. Okay, and it is also expected to create employment through developing India's manufacturing sector. Okay, so it has to create the employment through the developing India's manufacturing sector and move the nation higher up to the value chain. Okay, there should be the most of employment in this plan, and our PM Modi, however, want that maintaining fiscal discipline is important as well. As so PM has said that yet we are focusing on the development of the agriculture, education, health, and social welfare, and spending too much on them, but there should be a fiscal discipline also maintained for this. So he point out this problem also. So this was the 5-year plan. If you like this, please like, and if you have any doubts, please comment, and also please subscribe my channel. Okay, bye.